Sarah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Mindy. It's really great to be here.
So I know you recently wrote a paper with your co-fem colleagues, and in that paper you were asking some really critical questions. And one of those questions was, are humanitarians losing sight of the priorities for women and girls, or the priorities of women and girls?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that we are. You know, we've made so many advances in the last 10 years on really getting our issues onto the table and for people to talk about it, but now it's starting to roll back. You know, it's very, very, very easy for us as humanitarians to just ignore the voices of women and girls. There's been a big push to take a kind of inclusive approach to protection and to look at protection as individual people's needs. But this is moving us away from understanding the specific gender dynamics and how it impacts women and girls. For example, you know, in the recent Nepali earthquake, you know, aid workers came in, and it's kind of inherent in our humanitarian response. They were pressured, we're under time, and when you work in a community where there's a lot of gender inequality, the men just put themselves forward to speak, and it's really easy to ignore what the women have to say. But at this point, they did try to reach out to the women and to talk to them, and the women said, we're worried about menstrual hygiene. That's our concern, because they have a harmful traditional practice in Nepal where women are forced to sleep outside when they're on their menstrual cycle, and this puts them at risk of sexual violence, death of frostbite, being bitten by snakes, a number of violent issues. And even though the women put this as one of their #1 priorities to be addressed, it was completely ignored and left off the thing. And this put women at risk of rape. In fact, women who were forced to sleep outside during their menstrual cycle were 2 times more likely to be raped.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are some of the dangers of an inclusive approach to protection?
Well, you know, on paper, it sounds good. We want to make sure that we're addressing the individual needs of people who are at risk. But again, we work in a kind of setting where gender inequality is rape. So when we take this all-inclusive, everything, you know, protection for everyone approach, we again leave out the needs of the women and the girls. It's too easy to eclipse them and to have them just ignored and taken out of that.
So how can we bring this back into the light? How should we really tackle that issue, that problem?
You know, this broad protection approach has gained a lot of following in the last couple of months and years, and we need to recenter it. We need to recenter on looking at what women and girls' needs are. We need to listen to them, we need to talk to them, we need to design our programs around this. This means we all have to be involved, not just the practitioners or the gender activists like me and you who have to go out and really talk about this, but donors, you know, US or UN organizations, international NGOs, local NGOs, governments, all of us that work on these humanitarian response, we have to make sure that we're remembering that the needs of women and girls get easily ignored in this inclusive approach, and we have to recenter back on them.
Great. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you.